A professional comedian, really funny guy, George Rini. Come on, give him a hand, Mr. George Rini, in a tough anchor spot.
You know, this show started so long ago. Your house is worth $50,000 less. Let's hear it for all the young comedians tonight. Come on, put your hands together. You know, kids know a lot about sex these days. That's right, back there. They know a lot about sex. My eight-year-old niece came up to me last week and said, "I learned how babies are conceived in school today." I said, "Well, why don't you tell me?" She says, "First, a man inserts his penis in a woman's vagina and ejaculates sperm. The sperm fertilizes the egg turns into a fetus, and 9 months later the baby's born either vaginally or cesarean." I turned to my wife and said, "Is this right?" Really threw me. My kids have no respect today. My 16-year-old downstairs with his friends playing, and I hear one of them yell out, "What the fuck?" I lost my mind. I ran downstairs, I opened the door, and I said, "What the fuck? You can't talk like that in my house, and besides, who gave you permission to use my bong?" That's like a drug device. In case you were wondering. You know what? She knows. She knows. But my people have way too many kids too. My sister, pay attention back, there's one meeting. My sister just had a 10th child. And she plays all these stupid games and like has these parties, you know, like first steps parties, first pool parties. I said, "You know what kind of parties you should have had? You should have had pull-out parties." That's right. But I had a little anniversary last month. I had celebrated my 11th year in comedy. Thank you very much. And before that, I spent 25 years as a home improvement contractor. That's right. And so, you know, if anybody recognizes me, I'm sorry. Tough business. Tough business. People say the stupidest things. One time I'm building an extension. Customer comes out of the house. She says, you think I'm going to need a permit for this extension?" I said, "Don't worry about the permit, lady. That's only for licensed contractors." Crazy, stupid things. One time I'm just finishing up a kitchen. Customer comes up to me and he says, "Well, my wife sees your crown moldings. She's going to have an orgasm." I said, "Really? You should have seen her this morning when I was laying pipe." Tough business, tough business. People say stupid things. I'm on an estimate one time in Copic. Customer comes up, she says, "What do you think you can do to that front of my house to make it native to Copic?" I said, "I got a great idea. Right out in front of the house, we'll put an abandoned car." I'm like, "How far back do you want to go? A teepee, maybe." I don't know. Dumb things. Crazy things happened to me. One time I was building a dormer, and it actually collapsed during the construction. Yeah, I was very lucky that day. Only the homeowner was killed. Check clean. One time I just finished up a blacktop driveway. Customer comes out of that. She goes, "What are all these lumps in the driveway?" I said, "Lady, you're paying me to do a blacktop driveway, not move bikes." So, finding help in this business, hardest thing. One time, I'm an equal opportunity employer. I hired a gay crew to build me a couple of houses. I was so pissed when they were finished, they only had back doors. But, equal time, I hired a lesbian crew. And they didn't do such great work, but they let me watch. One time, I actually hired a Jewish crew to do some work for me. I went back the next day to check up on their progress. They hired a Mexican crew. Another time I had a full Polish crew. Whole guy, all of them, all Polish. I went back the next day to check up on their progress. They hired a Polish crew. Craziness. So I had another little anniversary in November. Married 28,000 years. Thank you. Not easy. Smart woman. Very, very smart woman. She's an occupational therapist. And after the show, if somebody could come up to me and tell me what the fuck that is, I would really appreciate that. No, but she's very smart, very smart. She specializes in hand problems, carpal tunnel, things like that. But I'm getting kind of concerned because last week she came home and she told me she did 8 hand jobs. I guess I should be thankful she didn't become an oral surgeon. She gets very frustrated, though. Very smart as she is, when something goes wrong with the computer, she gets very frustrated. One day, a couple of weeks ago, I come home from shopping and she's pounding the glass. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I can't get this goddamn nautical screensaver off the computer. I said, honey, that's the fish tank. I'm married too long. You know you're married too long when the type of oral pleasure you get from your partner is when they keep their mouths shut. But I turned 50 5 years ago. Thank you. And, you know, I mean, I'm a recreational drug user, and so I went to the doctor and I said, look, doc, could you hook me up with some Viagra? He gives me the prescription, and I couldn't wait to get it home. I put the tablet on the table and I'm staring at it, you know. So for old time's sake, I crushed it up and I snorted it. Got right into my system. 5 minutes later, I'm not even thinking about sex. Bing! There it is. Hardest thing known to man right there. All the blood goes down there and it gets really heavy, you know. So I'm carrying this thing around the house. The pets are running for the hills. It was like 8 pounds. I mean, it was just... I'm exaggerating. It was like 12 pounds. It was really... sick, right? Just for the hell of it, I snaked the toilet. Cola. But, you know... And I did something else I hadn't done in a long time, and I smoked a joint. Guys, this is a This is a public service announcement. Don't ever smoke pot under the influence of Viagra. It looks so good I almost ate it. My wife comes home about 10 minutes later. She goes, "Oh, honey, that's such a hard penis. Are those teeth marks?" Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's George Rini.
George Rini, come on, give him a hand. He's one of our professors, one of our esteemed faculty.